I got another trick, right? This one really make me a ton of money. So,
are freelancers in Singapore getting bullied? This is your daily catch-up. So basically, like recently, I mean, as I scour Reddit as part of my job,
Nice.
my real job. So then I came across these two posts that I felt like I kind of relate to. So they're basically asking about freelancing in Singapore. So one guy was saying that he's about to start freelancing, or like about to start, or thinking like that he wants to start. So what are things that he needs to like kind of take note of? And then secondly is this guy, like he feels like he wants to like start designing some posters, right? So like he's asking like, how can I like earn money from this lah? Where can I go to freelance? Yeah, and I think since like we have Alison on today also, who has freelanced for a long time before joining us
But
here.
now I'm stuck here.
Oi.
Just kidding. My
Just
job.
kidding.
My new job.
Yeah, so that I thought it would be a good time to bring this up, lor. Yeah. Okay, have you all freelanced before?
Huh?
Trick.
No,
so
it's
before
the-
you were stuck, you were freelancing for a couple of years, right?
As in, I jump in and out of jobs lah. So, after I first job, then I freelance. then I went back. Then I freelance again. And now I'm at a full-time job lah. But honestly, I love the freelance life because I feel like I'm like a night owl.
Cinematic. No, I was cinematographer. What were you
as in-
freelancing as?
As in, I just do the same thing but myself. So like just video producing or editing, also production and post-production.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just like the hours because I can like choose my own time. But then at first, right, it was like damn hard because I'm damn introverted and I hate the idea of like selling myself. So I have to like, if the client say like, oh, can you do this, then I'm like, in my head actually, maybe I'm a bit scared, but I have to like oversell, like, yeah, I can do it. And then I have to negotiate the prices, which is damn like sensitive.
I didn't realize I was being underpaid for the longest time.
Yeah,
How do you come up with your own rates?
It was just the first person asked me, then they say, hey, can you do this for this price?
Oh.
Then I'm like, wow, sounds good. What? You know,
why
I
you need
never
your
get
own
this
rate.
money before.
That's why you need your own rate card.
But I don't know how to set the rate for the rate card, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's from then I kind of just took that as like, that's the benchmark. All this is what people offer me to do, so this is probably what it's worth lah. Then I just do at that price. Then like,
Which
but
is
it
why-
has since like tripled.
No,
is
but
why
then how do
should-
you define being underpaid though?
Because I realized that like that's not the industry standard. And
And-
also I was ending up doing a lot more work than like, say for example, if I need to get extra equipment, extra lighting for that, right? Plus my traveling to and fro is even already. Haven't even count my time yet, like to do the actual editing.
Last time I was like that. Then my friend, no, he told me like I should have a contract cause like there's a lot of times where they do like late payment and like they like mishaps happen lah. They have to edit more than one version ma. And then sometimes they don't count that in that price. So you spend a lot of your time like doing. Then you feel like it's like unjust for that price. So now I will do like a proper contract to like lay down all the terms. Cause one time I didn't do that, right? Then the client like paid me like 4 months late.
Oh my god.
And I had to like chase for that miserable amount.
I think that's quite lucky already though. There's really some horror stories where like clients don't pay for like 1 year to like a freelancer or sometimes just like disappear without like paying also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ka-ching! Use this part of your day to like, share, and subscribe, and it will reap you great success. If you do not share this video, you will have 7 years bad luck.
Yeah, I kena before, yeah. Those chain emails.
Wow, you best like this video. Share and subscribe. Comment down below for the extra years of good luck.
Okay, so I just want to mention that like we are commenting and sharing our experience as very independent freelancers, meaning we do content creation, all this kind of stuff, right? Like it's or like
Start
content
to
strategy,
end.
consultation, whatever lah. But it's all on a like kind of we pao ka liao one for the most part lah. Yeah. So it's a little bit different from if you were to be a freelancer working on a much bigger team and bigger projects lah. Yeah.
So last time I did like an interview lah for another company. Then 1 year I didn't get the job, but like 1 year later they actually asked me on to freelance for them. Like just from their impression from the interview lah. So eventually when I got to work with them and then it was like a few days shoot. So I had to work with their team and then like I just tried to like be like nice to work with lah. And then after that they
Be
asked me
professional,
back.
yes.
Yeah, so I feel like it was interesting because I had to like adapt to a new culture ma, because I'm in the company for like a few days. But then I realized the value from that is like when you are nice to work with, right, and then you treat people, I mean, you do your best, right, they are actually like observing you and they might come back later, which they did lah. So I thought it was maybe a good tip.
Yeah, just be professional lah throughout, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of like who you're working for. I think the other thing also is that like whatever it is, if it's a client shoot especially, and you're working for an agency and you're part of a bigger shoot, so now there's two clients, right? There's the ones that hire you and then the bigger client. At the end of the day, you are representing that agency that hired you.
Yeah.
So like I think it's so important to always like be professional and know that people are watching lah.
Because you'll never know like who will like talk about you and like try to introduce you and network you.
Correct.
And as a freelancer, your face and everything you do is the business. Is what you represent. Yeah.
That's why like I think actually it's really good that this person is asking on Reddit, because at least now he gets to crowdsource what is the industry rate, what are some like things to look out for. I think also quite important, like where do these conversations normally happen with clients? Is it over email or is it over text?
Depends on client though.
Yeah.
If it's someone like your friend intro you, that kind, you don't know the person and they're like a more established place, most of the time it's email. But if it's like your friend is working there, then they're looking for freelancer, most of the time it's text.
Yeah.
So the trick for that, right? Because I think the point that you're going to make is that it should be written, and then I think emails is one of the best platforms to do it lah. So if you are texting because it's a friend or whatever, at the end of the conversation, say you're going to summarize the conversation we just had, I'm going to send you an email for confirmation. Yeah, so that everything still is compiled in that column. Right. Yeah.
I'm horrible with emails.
Right. Okay, so I think for starters, right, based on the stuff that you have like briefly brought up, I think what we're going to talk about for this first portion is kind of, if you are starting out with freelance, what are some of the early mistakes you all made that you all learn from, right? What are some of the few things? So to put things into perspective, because I think the term underpaid can be used a bit
subjective,
frivolously. Yeah. If you're just starting out, nobody knows who you are. You have not much of a portfolio, whatever, right? Underpaid is extremely subjective, right? If the opportunity itself has so much value that it will add to you, right, and give you value later on, right? Honestly, I'm not looking at a pay. You need to know what you're getting into a job for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even at higher levels, sometimes, right, a specific collaboration, even though there's not enough money, not much money or whatever it may be, right, or it's trash working hours, or it's going to be a bit difficult to work with, right? But if at the end of the day, you know why you are working for this, you know that this brand is going to help you later on, then I would honestly prioritize that and still go through with that job lah.
But I feel like there's a bit of a dilemma there. Like, you know, there's a very negative stereotype on like, we'll pay you by exposure. So when is that okay and when is it not okay?
Me and my friend actually did an entire social campaign on this that went all over the fucking world. Yeah.
Wow.
What's exposure?
It's
Exposure money.
exposure currency. Yeah. So my friend came up with the idea. I just helped him with the photo shoot only lah. Yeah. But yeah, it was that frustration of like, it was during the height of influencers marketing, right? And like a lot of businesses just reaching out and saying like, hey, we'll pay you with exposure. Yeah, so he said, okay, then print the exposure currency and give. You go and give. Yeah, quite funny. But the whole point of payment is another thing. Like, and even when it comes to contracts, I've had contracts, fully fleshed out contracts signed with huge companies, right? They don't fulfill it. Yeah.
And you can't sue them.
And you cannot do much as a small player. Very difficult. Media industry specifically, right? Not a lot of protection, I say.
Now
like,
you can cancel them online though.
Yeah lah. But at that point of time, I wasn't complaining because I think I negotiated quite well. So not only were they paying me a decent amount, but the projects that they were giving me is things that I wanted to do. So my first, not really my first experience, but there was a year after I left my previous company where I wanted to just travel. And so I went to acquire and reach out to a bunch of companies that will basically pay me to go and
Travel
shoot overseas do what I want to do. And anyway, I wanted to build a portfolio for travel filmmaking. I wanted to do it on my own terms also. So I managed to find a few clients that were very nice. And then we worked out those projects. So
how do you find clients? You know what I mean?
I will look back at who I have contact with, or sometimes if I look at a business and I'm interested in working in their business, I'll just DM them. Sometimes drop them an email. Say, this is who I am, this is what I offer. If you're interested, I think that this is something that you might want to consider doing lah. I can do it based on this. And we can talk about money later lah. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
asking cause like quite a few of the comments mention networking.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you need to have balls lah. Like you need to really just reach out. If you know why you love the company, I think that's an opportunity lah. Because I was also looking to do that, right, as an in to see whether, hey, do I really want to work at this company?
Right.
Yeah. Either that or do like a freelance or part-time basis kind of thing with them. Yeah. So then from there, I managed to travel and get paid to travel, all expenses paid, fly first class, all this kind of thing. Then, yeah.
First class.
Or business, I think. First class or business, I can't remember.
Class.
Got 2. But okay, yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, then you get to go for these experiences. Quite fun lah, right? Then enjoy myself. So the money wasn't really a big factor. Then after I put this all into my portfolio already, then after that, then I managed to acquire like a few bigger clients. Yeah, which was great also lah. Yeah, and all of that is while you are doing what you already kind of know how to do, and doing what you enjoy doing lah, I guess, for the most part. Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned about the small player thing, like against the big companies, right? Because well, it's going to sound them sponsored, even though it's not. Like, we literally just got off a conversation with NTUC, and like they were saying that actually there's a new union now for freelance creative individuals, because there is a lot of situations like this where they really get like screwed over by like the clients, right? And it just gives them like avenues to like get legal help or like counsel or whatnot lah.
Yeah, and with the first few freelance projects that I got, right, I didn't know how to draft a contract.
Right.
So, but I knew that I definitely need to have a contract. And some of the companies will draft out one fucking long contract for me to read. I totally don't understand. Then some of the thing I read already like, wow, a bit sus. Really a bit sus. So I managed to get a lawyer friend as well as several like other freelancers that I knew to kind of take a look, cross-reference, also like figure out like what is the rough market rate. Then from there I managed to build out my own contract.
Right.
Yeah. And contracts in almost every aspect is negotiable, and so don't sign something you're not comfortable with lah. If you know of somebody that can help you look through it properly first, 1 time, 2 time vet through, right, helps a lot. But don't sign something that if there's something that you're not comfortable with. I think that's one of the biggest things.
And I think like once you've already built like a decent amount of portfolio, right, then like I think just try to like understand what your own terms are. Like if you really want to stick by a 60-day credit terms, for example, and people need to pay by then, I think that's quite important for you to like look out for whenever you see like a contract that a client sends you lah.
Yeah.
But does it not become difficult, right? Like for example, if it's a long-standing client that I've worked with and I know they will pay one, you know what I mean? It's just that I'm not sure why there's a delay now. But then like to want to impose like a fine on them, or a fine like, on them is so difficult, you know what I mean?
I usually do 50%
Upfront.
50% upfront, then the other 50% upon completion of the project.
Right.
Then the second 50% is you have to pay within like X months lah. Then if they don't, then I already indicate this is the exact amount, and it's always in percentages.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know why there's a negative connotation to ask for your pay. Like I'm damn scared to ask. Like even though I know they will pay, right, I still like, oh, okay, can, thanks, that kind. But actually I inside a bit like, where's my money,
But
like
the way I look at it is both of you are giving something to the other person. No?
yeah.
So if I'm giving you something on time, then you also need to give me whatever you promise on time. No? It's fair, ma? And there's nothing wrong with asking.
Yeah. Like, do you have problem asking your friends back for money if you lend them?
a bit.
I feel like the same priceiness. It's not so much. So in this instance, you should see it as a professional like transaction, where it's a little bit different.
It's just I like scared I burn the bridge. Like I scared I seem too pushy, right? Then next time they don't want to work with me. Then to me that's damn important, because it's like I'm on my own mind. I'm supposed to like network, and then if it's a very big brand, I don't want to like piss them off. Yeah. So I always like act damn nice, but actually like sometimes I may be like, why they cannot like faster?
Is it then important to like, okay, I mean, I don't condone like creating fake personas, right? But if it's over email, you create like a finance department. You don't even have to sign off a name, but like finance person of Alison,
familiar
right?
story.
And then you basically just like be the chaser. That's why like talents have agents, right? Because like agents are the ones that like negotiate.
That's a good tip.
Like
You disassociate that.
yeah. So at least like you can be friendly with them, but you have this like
I got
agent.
another trick, right? This one really make me a ton of money. So
wait, my notebook.
whenever there are clients that I'm not interested to work with, right?
John, why aren't you packing your bags?
My bags? Dan, why aren't you packing your bags?
Huh? John, why aren't you packing your bags?
For what?
Haven't you heard? Singaporeans can now go to Japan visa free starting from next week.
What? I'm packing my bags.
Yeah, but you're faster, okay? Because we still need to plan so many things, so I headache.
You then give me headache. How can you not know about Expedia?
There's a Wikipedia for access.
1, 2, 3.
Expedia is the one-stop travel site for your dream vacation.
Yeah, it's better than your ex.
Hotels,
Hotter than your next.
flights,
And nothing too complex.
car rental.
Expedia.
Ooh, wow. Got promo code or not? I want to faster go and book all my travel plans
God.
SBMC 15.
Shop on Expedia through Shopback this 10/10 and get up to 15% upsized cashback on top of on-site deals when you use MasterCard.
Yes! Finally, I can start earning real cashback instead of points when I shop. Hey, ladies, lunch is on me.
Excuse me, can focus? Must use MasterCard, must use the promo code, and must shop on Expedia through Shopback.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then lunch is on him.
I will give them a stupid price. And right, 50%, more than 50% of the time, right, they are okay with the price.
Wow.
So I've made like an IG video, right? Like a 1 minute IG video, right? For dollars.
Oh my god. And you're gonna know now.
Yeah.
I think I struggle with like setting my own time. Like I'll get damn lazy. Then like when the date coming, then I finally struggle. Cause like I freelance, then I like woo. Then like sleep until damn late. Then like I never prioritize my time properly. So like over time, then I learned to like properly prioritize lah. And also like, cause when you freelance, right, then the pay is not a monthly pay. It's like a one-time thing. And sometimes I don't know how to like properly segment my finances.
Yeah, I think need to budget. I think the budget is the
Yeah, cause
important
some
part.
months, right, like wow, damn hot. Then suddenly the next month, 2 months, right, like no pay. Then I don't know whether to like work more or think it's enough. Then I like a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, lah, but I think like what she mentioned, like budgeting was like what I struggled with also. Cause when I started out freelancing, I was very young. Like it was like before I go to uni also. Yeah, then I still don't know what I wanted to do in my life, Then yeah, I made the mistake of like spending the money based on what I knew was coming in.
What do you mean by spending the money?
As in, cause in my bank already got some money, but then I know that next month I make 800, right? For example,
So you go and spend 800.
not 800 lah, but I just like spend
Right,
more
right,
liberally because I know there's this 800 coming in.
Yeah.
But then it becomes like I'm just plugging a hole. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then you need to know to budget. Lor.
Another thing that I've learned for freelancers when it comes to calculating how much you should charge a client is that
Yes,
you
please help.
you need to calculate your cost and then you need to calculate your profit. I think some people at the start, they make the mistake, right, of first of all not calculating the cost, which means, right, their transport, like what you did, you settle your own transport, you settle your own rental, you go and do all this shit, right? Like that one pointless one, plus your man hours, that's not your pay, that's not your profit.
Yeah.
You factor all these things in already, then you add your profit. Yeah.
But the problem is, how do I know how much my man hour is worth? You know what I mean? Especially as a newbie. Then I go and Google, right? Then they say like professional photographers charge us $250 an hour. Then I like, how can be what? Like I'm a noob.
I feel like you can deem what's fair to yourself. I mean, obviously you Google for some baseline market rates or whatever. Go ask around, ask friends, people who are in the industry. But then at the end of the day, you also know what your time is worth, I would say. Like for example, as an editor, right? Like say, depending on how seasoned you are already, you know like per hour how much.
Yeah.
I feel like you will know how
I
much you're
just
worth.
base it off my old pay. Then I divide by the
that
month.
makes
Then I get a price per hour pay, right? Then I like up a bit.
But then you see, like per hour is also difficult because then, right, if I'm more experienced, I'm doing the work faster, I'm taking less hours.
Yeah.
Then how?
Then
You know what I
charge
mean?
higher.
I also made the mistake before of the client keeps saying like no budget, right? And I slashed my price by like half
Yeah.
for a
Same.
friend because the friend was the one who hooked us up. Then when I execute that time already, right? Then initially I was thinking that okay, this is an investment for a longer term contract or relationship with this company lah. But the moment all of that happened, right, and they weren't able to fulfill that budget, then after that, right, it was the same thing all over again already. And you start to realize that it's not that they don't have the money, it's that they don't see the value in the work.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just like, I don't do it. Yeah.
That's my biggest mistake. So the very first time, because I thought this is my first time doing this video, so then I charged them $700 for it, right? It was like if I remember correctly, like 1 to 1.5 minutes. Got a 30-second there one, so it's like either 30 second or 1 minute 30 second, fully animated video. As in like got the figurine come out, then like they got the background, everything one. I charged them $700 for it, and I do for like 3 weeks non-stop.
Oh my god.
Wow, after that I regret.
So you basically work as an intern for 1 month.
Oh my god.
But it was like as in I can show you the video, right? It's like out there. Like, I later on learned that like there was another like some other university lah, like
Yeah.
approached like one of my friends, and then for the same kind of video, right? In fact, less work, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, it was the range of like 27 to 30K.
Another one that I encountered was that when I don't know what to do, I will look, for example, online, right? On social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever. I will find somebody that's known or within the industry doing the same thing. I will DM them for help with a very specific question and breakdown of it. Like respectfully asking them for advice. And I think 100% of the time they actually gave me advice.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
wow.
So I thought that was quite nice, and it helped me a lot. Like with like, for example, like loading fee or this kind of thing, right? Like what the f- is
Wow,
a
I had
loading
no
fee?
idea what that was.
Yeah, but loading fee can make you money if you know how to do it, right? It's scary
Not
money, I
everyone
tell you.
influencer like you.
Huh?
Hey.
Not everyone influencer like you.
I'm okay lah, yeah lah. I'm just saying lah. If for
If
talenting,
you are
no,
him.
because some people they do like modeling, they do talenting,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you don't need like
modeling.
actor or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Wow, but you just if you know how to do it properly, right?
Yeah.
Solid, yeah.
Imagine if Simulio put loading on all his stock images. Rich now.
G.
Yeah, no, but like another good like resource is this guy. He's at the FUTR, like FUTR, and like what he does is that he really helps in terms of giving people advice on how to price themselves. And then there were a lot of like instances. So he's the kind that gives workshop with the whiteboard with the paper, and then like
He's the one that covered the exposure dollar campaign.
oh okay
Funny.
yeah, but he's just like botak guy lah, right? So like he basically talked like, so he will basically have like a workshop, then people will like ask questions and all this, and then one question that always comes up is like, how do I handle a situation where I quote something to a client and they say I got no budget, and he immediately changes the conversation to, like you said, value. So like one instance that I think it was a true story, but I don't know how true lah. He said like he told a client this was his price, and the client said, I'm only willing to pay like a fraction of that. Then he said, okay, how about this? What is the value of the video to you? What are you going to use the video for? They're going to use it for advertisement. They're going to put it on TV. Okay, how much do you expect this marketing campaign to increase your revenue by? Then we expect it to increase by maybe 30%, 40%. So okay, fine. So if your revenue now, you minus whatever you're making right now, right? Any additional revenue that you earn, you give me 10% of that. How do you feel? The client said, okay, I'll pay your rate. Like just like that. Like, you know, like you have to change the entire conversation to value.
He helped them to understand what is the value he's bringing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, that's a great tip.
Hey, this guy.
Wait,
He's
say it
the
one more time right now.
The future.
What? Okay, since we all have full-time jobs now, right? And we are very grateful for it. Actually, one thing that I want to not really caveat, but mention is that I don't feel like we are talking from an
Just a creative industry perspective.
and even from a standpoint of privilege. Like, I think this is something that freelancers need to embrace and
Yeah.
embody,
Yeah.
so that they don't get bullied by clients. Yeah.
But I also feel like right now, I mean, no offense, right? But there are a lot of like those, like the young kids coming in, like with like with like whatever skills they have, right? And then they charge super low
They're
for their
spoiling the
project.
market, yeah.
That spoils the market for people who are like.
But look at
more
the end
experienced.
product that comes out, lor. Like the amount of thought put into it.
But most of the time, right, the client cannot tell the difference.
Then is there a client you want to work with? No, like really, if you respect what you do, then is there a client that you want to work with?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, unless they got many dollar bills.
But I got go Facebook to join those kind of groups where people like will advise you on like the rate. So like for example, you can ask like, hi guys, I have this project and then should I charge this amount? Then like a lot of people will help and say like, I think you should charge this amount.
Right.
You should charge loading fee. Then I feel like you get assurance from like people who have been in the industry.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Look for support systems, like similar to what I was talking about, where you look for like a mentor or somebody to give you advice. Yeah,
I think like a tip I have is like make like friends who are also freelancing. Yeah. So like I have like a tiny like mini group, maybe like 3 or 4 of us, right? Then it's like it's not official thing, but we know that like if the project come in I cannot take, right, I will pass to either of them and it's the same thing. So then we kind of like pass project around also. And
then if you're all doing the same thing, then slowly they become a business.
Yeah, that's an agency. But it's true, like sometimes you never know, like if it's a big project, you might need a grade, you might need a
yeah, correct. Whenever I need crew also, like,
Yeah.
they are the people that I text.
Yeah.
Nice.
Your friends got asked you do for free before.
That's what I never freelance, right? But because like in my friend group, I guess I'm a little bit more like literate when it comes to like Photoshop or Illustrator or what. So I'm like the go-to person to do like Photoshopping, or like someone needs a logo or something, or like our football team suddenly needs a crest, I'll just like do it lah.
Hey, I want to see the crest.
Our football team.
No, my Sunday League team.
Hey, but your football team also needs a
But to me, it's like it's damn fun. Like to me, it's I love to explore these things, and then it's without the pressure of like being paid for it. You know, it's like I'm just. Because I'm doing for free, they're not going to be like clients, you know, like, hey, can you make this bigger? Why they're just going to take it
what if they do?
Oh,
Give me 3 more options. Then they go a bit fucking round, and in the end they go with idea 1. He's always like that.
no, stop here. But like actually that's how like I got even more involved with Clumsy Plumsy, right? The sour plum vodka drink that
Hey, shout out.
that I'm a co-owner of, because like I think essentially what started off was that so my friend my best friend actually like founded the business, and then like he needed quite a lot of help with like, you know, labels, logos, graphics and things like that. Sorry, not logos, that was someone else that did, and she's really talented. And so like I was just helping out for free, like, you know, like more than happy to do it. And I think because like he felt like it wasn't fair, you know, like just keep giving him free work also, then like that's how it all really started lah.
So subconsciously, do you like manipulate him into his relationship? Wait, no, kidding.
No lah.
You say, well, I took 4 hours to do this. Yeah, but on that note,
No lah.
yeah. So on that note, Chris has actually given me a piece of advice which I thought was really, really interesting. Right, he said like, if you want to earn money, if you want to get paid doing something, get good at doing it and give it away for free. Then you'll start getting paid for doing it. Which I was like, oh, reverse psychology.
But you need to know when to start charging.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
you were
like
talking
Peter
about-
McKinnon, right? Like he's so known as a YouTuber, but he gets so many jobs to do ads and all this, cause like he's shown that he knows how to do it by telling other people how to do it.
But that's honestly how everyone on YouTube started making money, ma.
Yeah.
Most of the early gen one, I would say, did it for fun, and they realized this could be a business.
What do you think are the biggest differences between working a full-time job and working freelance?
Ooh.
Yeah, like what are the pros and cons and shit?
Stability.
Is having a stable income a massive part of that?
For me, it was lah.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like I don't know what the future looks like. Then I feel like I just wanted to have something stable and comfortable. But I think what I like most about a full-time job is just like having people to like help or fall back on lah. Cause I feel like as a freelancer, I'm very by myself and alone. And I feel like when I stress or need help, right, I can't really like ask people to help without paying them.
Cause like in the outside world, you really need help. You really feel like shit, I need to like give them something.
Yeah, as in, cause at a full-time job, it's like you stress, then you like, hey, can you help me? Like, or like you ask your coworker or something. Like you have a team lah. But then when you're alone, it's like so much more stress put upon yourself, cause you are the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, like multiple roles ma.
I feel like I need both. Like almost like freelance work is a space where I feel like I can experiment with certain different things, right? That maybe I'm not sure about at work yet. Then so I can try that, and then at the same time I'm getting paid more for doing that also.
Example?
So it's like a double win.
Is that how prostitutes feel?
What? The freelance
Other guys, then they bring it back to their boyfriend.
Yeah.
let me see if that's what their boyfriends think. I think like one example was when I moved from my first company here, right? So in my first job, right, I actually didn't do a lot of like live filming. Yeah, so it was a lot of like After Effects, like Premiere Pro editing work. So then I felt like I didn't have the expertise to do that, like to film humans and to know how to do that, like to know how to like light a face, right? I must see like the magic triangle here, you know, then that kind of like small things lah. So then I think like slowly in my freelance work, then I was also like a bit scared to like ask in my workspace at that point lah, cause I didn't want to feel like I was out of my depth or I wasn't good at what I was hired to do, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that it felt like freelancing was almost like a safe space to grow for me.
Right.
Yeah, so then I slowly started like renting lights, right? Then I started like renting two that I can like see like how the lighting works and all that. Then I slowly like watch YouTube videos, then I pick it up on my own, which is how I've picked up everything in my life lah. Like when I want to edit certain things, right? Like say, remember like that full animated video that I was talking about?
Yeah.
Like the whole After Effects process I pick up on my own, like out of work. It's something that I would not have done at work, but now there's so many transferable skills that even when I talk to like the editors or the animators, right, I know very well how difficult something is to do or how simple something is to do. Yeah, and I think I can like advise them better on that, for example. Yeah, so it translates lor. Yeah, but at the same time, I need like the stability of like the full-time job where it's like a safer space almost. Like even if I don't have freelance work for this month, right, I'm okay because like at work, like I'm still growing at work clearly, right? It's just like I feel like I'm getting to learn a lot of different things simultaneously.
And actually both helps.
And both
aspects.
helps each other. Yeah.
That's quite
Well,
a good
I
point.
cannot find the energy to. Like, I used to, but I feel like I don't know I owe or what.
Maybe in the
think
next
so.
4 years that I
I don't
cannot.
have the energy to like freelance and
I mean 6 years.
and full time at the same time. Yeah,
I think it's important also to see whether your company allows that lah. Because I think not a lot of companies are comfortable with that.
I did stop for a long while, like, cause I was just like I was going through some stuff, and also like I got a pay raise lah, so that I could I had the peace of mind to not need to like chiong freelance work. Cause like last year I think I was doing like at least one a month. Yeah. So then when it came to like the start of this year and all that, around like March, April, then I felt like I needed to take a step back lor. And like you mentioned, like it was really very, very, very draining on me and what I was going through lah. So then I took a step back. But then like when I wanted to like start getting back into it, right, then I was very scared because like you kind of like step back, right? Then all the contacts, right, they probably like found someone else to like do their freelance work already. Then I wasn't very sure like how to get back into it, or like, should I just like stick to my full-time job, then like that's it, you know what I mean?
Something that I experienced a bit of a challenge with, right, is that when I took a long pause,
Yeah.
then there was a client that I got, right, like after like maybe a year of not freelancing.
Yeah.
And as I was prepping for it, I suddenly realized like, oh shit, I damn rusty. I haven't do this for so long already.
yeah.
So what I did was I called up a friend who owned a similar business. I said, bro, I need to
Practice.
I need to practice. Let me go. I shoot for you something for free. So I help his business. I shoot for him some free content, some photos, some whatever video. Right. Then I practice. Then I got the confidence. Then I go execute for the other client. Yeah. Then in the end, his video turned out better than the client. Very funny. But the point is practice. Do practice what you do. Like if you take a pause, I will make sure you still brush up a bit before you go in.
Yeah,
Go and commit.
sorry, like thinking about that, because this reminded me, right, actually with the Clumsy Blumsy, it was more than just the design, right? It's because I bought a camera and I needed to use it, right? So I was like, hey, I do an ad for you. So I did a video, and then like, in the
They
end, I was
liked
like,
it.
okay lah. Like, yeah, because like I wanted to just use it, right? And then after that also, I haven't produced a video after that already.
What do you say to a freelance friend, right? Like, say for example, if you own a business now or what, right? And then you have a friend that comes to you and it's like, hey bro, like I want to try like doing some videos. Then he show you, but you hate the video. then how? Like
Be
in
as
your case,
honest
it
as
was
you can. lor.
Yeah, I think just be upfront lah.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like work with friends, right? It's where you really should be able to be as professional as possible.
right.
Because you don't want the friendship to come in the way. But going back to the point of like experimenting, I think that's really important. Actually, beyond just because I mean, I'm sure a lot of you that are watching are not freelancers, right? But I think it's really important to like experiment and like work on your skills outside of work. Because I think too many people have the mentality of like, okay, I come to work, I come to learn. It's my company's responsibility to teach me. Which I think to some extent they have some of the responsibility. But I think it's also up to you to go and pick up those skills yourself also. Like when I started my first business, it was called The Playbook and it was a publication, right? I didn't intend to actually start a business. I was in a publication firm and I wanted to learn more about WordPress. I wanted to learn more about Facebook advice. And so I created a fake blog writing stuff that I liked, which was sneakers and sports at that time. And then I created fake ads for those. So I would spend like $10, like learning what was best practices for all of this.
Yeah.
And then in the end I was like, shit.
You just started something.
Because I was doing ads, right? So I was actually getting views. And then it started to get organic views. Then I was like, oh shit, like this really works. So then I started using Premiere Pro, which is where I learned actually like how to edit and stuff like that. Then I'm like, oh shit, this actually could be a legit business. Which you don't know, it might turn out that way if you start like working on your skills.
Yeah. So like even for people who are working full time, if you never dabble in freelance, like whatever is your interest, right, you can do on the side just for fun. Like some people like they start doing like handwriting. Like I think I have like a cousin or something.
Calligraphy.
She do sorry calligraphy yeah. So then she do, right, then I think she ended up starting to sell it on Carousel. So like you type out what you want, then send to her, then she will help you do nice and then as a letter go give people. Like this everything can turn into business one. People go and knit dog, knit cat, knit whatever rubbish, so can sell.
Yeah.
What the heck?
You know those
what?
Really want to do
now
crochet.
now people like the mama
Mama.
crochet.
It's
Then
called
like
amigurumi.
crocheting.
Crocheting.
Yeah.
Hi Diana.
Then they do, then become bum bag, then sell.
Yeah.
Become clothes, then sell. Singapore really not practical to wear cause very hot, but okay.
How can you say that?
Yeah.
They can use the lighter yarn. Like see at Beloved Thread.
Yeah, turn your interest into a side hustle, man. Yo.
Capitalism is alive and well.
It is true. And now people love handmade stuff, don't you think? Like people
Yeah.
are going the custom way now.
It's true.
Customs.
I did some like, cause I bought an iPad. Then I was like into like the whole Procreate thing. Then
Wow, I buy Procreate now,
hey,
you
why
sell.
don't I like put it on a bag and sell? So I like create a design. Then cause I freelance, then no work, then I be free. Then I just like, hey, why don't I start this like? So I did like a whole. Like I did a page, then I like start selling my bags, then like do marketing.
Wait, what is
Then I
this
was-
bag called?
AAA.
Yeah. No, I just wanted.
I can Google it. Can I Google
Yeah,
it?
no,
Depend on the SEO.
it's on Insta, but I never do anything about it anymore.
It's AAA. Come with
It's like-
battery.
No, I just no, cause I always wanted to start something, but then I never tried before. It's not like my goal is to make it a legit business lah, but I just like started from scratch. Then I just asked around. Then I slowly learn along the way lor.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was thinking about that also because I want to like I feel like I have a good idea, right? Like for to start a graphic design kind of thing. But I just do I mean I did like
NFT.
two. I did two, then I give up. but yeah, and you can then I was thinking at the same time, right, this my journey like now that like TikTok also all that can monetize, right? So like my journey of learning this thing can totally be monetized also. Yeah, so then yeah, I've been thinking of taking a 1 month sabbatical, which I've been saying since last year, right? I never had the time to take it, but yeah. So we're hiring. If you feel my position, I can take a 1 month sabbatical. Yeah, check the link down below. Yes, thank you. But yeah, and I also realized a big reason why, I mean like why I moved here and also why I need to work full time is like the mentor thing. Like I feel like it's harder to find a mentor for freelancing, like versus like at work, right? Like there are people all around you, and like even in your department, you have people that are more senior, right? That can be helping you. Yeah, and the biggest problem that I had was I just always felt like I don't know what I don't know. Yeah, then like I'm not afraid to ask one. Then I mean last time I was, but then I have grown out of that after becoming more confident in my base skills. So then yeah, then like yeah, like I will ask like stupid questions if I have, or which are not stupid questions actually. Yeah, I feel like that's the most important part for me. Or at least until, in my head it's like until I'm 25 at least, right? I just want to be like under someone and then like just learning for like whatever pay that might be. Yeah. Which brings back to like the first point that you mentioned lah. What are you trying to get out of this specific job that you are doing?
Yeah. Actually, a funny thing that I brought on to my full-time job, right, is that I treated it as a freelance gig.
Wait,
Like, for a period of time. I
That's why you
treated
come in at 11.
with a freelance mentality. No, because right, I wanted to come in as contracted externally and make sure that I can deliver to the business
Right.
what I'm being paid to do. Yeah. Whereas some people I think don't know whether full-time or what, then they just get very fucking comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm just gonna get paid. You're not gonna fire me.
Is there
that
an
kind of shit.
issue with that though?
Getting complacent and comfortable?
Not complacent, but I'm comfortable here, and therefore I feel like there's no need to really like push myself or what lah. Like because like a lot of what we are talking about, right? Like especially if it's on top of a full-time job, it's like I feel like I just have more of that. I want to chase that more, right? But that doesn't apply to everybody, ma. So is there actually a problem with just being comfortable at your job?
No, you just don't relate to me.
You think? The more humane
I
people
think
think.
as long as it doesn't come in the way of like business operations, like, right? Like I think if you are like important cog in the entire system, I knew it. I think like I think you're an important part of the entire equation. Like then I think what
So you are doing your part,
but
but you are doing your part, but you just don't feel like you need to like be chasing or like going for the next level, going for that promotion or what lah.
but as long as you're not dropping the ball, like, as long as standards are still like there, you know,
Right.
like
Yeah, in so many things in life, there are two portions: the baseline and then the upper part where you're reaching, right? And
Upside.
sometimes people forget that. They just think that it's just you are either here or here or here. You know, yeah. But you're
Right.
trying to navigate these two. Yeah.
On the note of like what Dan mentioned about like drawing the line clearer when you work with friends and all that, right? I mean, like got someone said lah, like friends who start with like, hey bro, can you help me do this? Like knowing your expertise, right? I think like I also have friends lah that feel like they want me to like shoot certain things for them, and then they're expecting like a fraction of the cost or me to do it for free. Yeah, but as in like sometimes I feel like, say for example, like for us we are going on a holiday or what, right? Then I feel like this is my hobby ma. Then I want to take picture. I want to like do video. That one's on me. So I'm comfortable like just make one that I give to you for free. Versus like if you come to me, then you're expecting something for free or
Yep.
for like a fraction of the price. Then it's a bit iffy for me. But then it's difficult to like want to charge them higher because I know them, I know their situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, then how?
I feel like I've been guilty of it before. Like I was really like in the creative agency, right? And even then, I'm like more of a salesperson. I feel like I've been guilty of asking other people to like help me out for stuff. But then, like I think I put it this way also. Like if I ask my lawyer friend for help to read a contract, which we've all done and we spoke about it today, do I pay him his normal hourly rate? I don't. You know what I mean?
I think it depends on the task that you are requesting from them. And if you know that it's going to cost them a lot, it's going to cost a heavy investment from their end, then I think you at least cover the cost that they're comfortable with lah.
But the problem is that a lot of times people don't know how much work goes into it, ma. You know what I mean? Like if people tell me like, I mean, I've had like clients that they rejected, right? That they say like, oh, this one not too difficult, should be this price, right? Or like this, like the video is like simple enough, like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So remember what I mentioned earlier about how you calculate your cost and then after that your added profit. If you are comfortable with that, since he's a friend,
Minus the
just
profit.
minus the profit lah.
Yeah. So you still charge for your man hours in that
Yeah.
sense.
So that time is still makes sense for you lah. Yeah.
But I know it's
Like friends' wedding, this kind all right. It's like no, I don't want to work.
a wedding is completely different.
No,
Wedding is
pre-wedding,
crazy.
pre-wedding.
Like
Wow, yeah, pre-wedding difficult.
They always ask, can we shoot?
It's like their big event, then you know they're spending a shit ton on their wedding also. Then they're like new starting out their job, paying for BTO. Then they like
Yeah.
spending money elsewhere. They say, hey, Jon, can you help me shoot?
You know, I think this is on your friends. I think as friends, you shouldn't ask your friends to shoot your wedding.
Why are
and
you
stuff.
pressuring your friend to cut their?
No pressure, but if,
No, as in the person who's asking.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's on the friend.
they say no
Yeah.
pressure, you can say no if you don't want, but it will be really helpful.
then you just know full stop.
Just say like it's my policy not to do for friends. Sorry.
First of all, we must establish the expectations. So if you don't have a fucking budget already, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the amount of money that you have, right? I'm going to invest it back into this and make it a fun experience for everybody as the photographer or whatever.
Like example?
So meaning, right, say this couple pre-wedding, they have say I don't know what is budget, $800, right? So they give me $800. What I'm going to do is I'm not even going to give a about the cost, but instead, right, I'm going to create for them an experience that we can document together and collect those photos, and then it's going to be an experience for that group, including
Right.
yourself or whatever lah. And I will put the 800 into it. You get what I mean?
So
Yes,
if-
then.
So someone give you
I don't
$800.
understand.
It's like okay, I'm gonna buy 800 or like 80 disposable cameras,
For
and
fun,
then
then
everyone's
we
gonna
just-
shoot.
Yeah,
their
or I
own
will
photo.
rent this. No, yeah, something. No lah, not so.
Or like you go and like rent the
Take
car that is
responsibility
part
for
of the
that.
shoot, that kind of stuff.
Like, I will
Okay,
do
okay,
it up,
okay.
you know, properly for
Like give
them.
them the value, like extra value for
Which
it.
you can then include in your portfolio.
But this is the BFF situation lah, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
outside
Okay,
of
okay,
that,
I think you have to weigh out. I think you have to weigh out. I think if it's like maybe not that close, but you know that there's a potential networking situation where like it helps your portfolio or something, then sure lah.
Do it for the exposure.
Sure lah.
We go back
all
one
the
round.
wedding planners now
Yeah.
panicking.
But the most important thing is like is know your value lah. I think
Yeah.
really don't let that slip. Yeah.
It goes back to the contract thing, especially the like +1 edit, +1 edit. Hey, help me do this small change. Then to me very hard, you know. They just want to change this one color, you know. Then
Then you know it's just
Yeah.
damn easy, but then you like,
This is why so I think every freelancer should have their rate card, and I think should have line items for everything, right? So like this is the deliverable. This is how many free edits I'll give you. So 2 edits, right? If you want new edit, look under add-on optional. It says 1 additional edit is this amount. Then everything's
but I
all
just
covered.
want you to cut out this 1 second. Okay, you think about it. How will you all answer this, right? Yeah.
and you know they say, hey, we really like your work. Next time, right, we want to work with you.
Oh.
Oh, don't give your clients the raw footage and the
Yeah, don't give raw
oh yeah,
footage.
no.
never ever.
Oh, but can you charge for it lah?
No.
Charge a exorbitant amount.
Yeah. Stupid price.
Stupid price.
Then they pay.
Because you're making yourself redundant.
Yeah. You own it. Yep.
Okay, so thank you for watching today's episode. I hope you've learned some stuff from our personal experiences. And if you're a freelancer, let us know down below what you do, right? Maybe you can like network, make friends, make
Yeah.
connections.
Plug
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye. There's no free lunch, but there's freelance.
Nice lah.